back here with Dr. Rodney VanPelt. And today, well, we already talked about what causes fatty liver. So if you haven't seen that one, you may want to watch that first. But today, I want to talk about, is it possible to reverse fatty liver? Because in the last interview, you said your doctor said there's nothing you can do about it. You know, you're stuck with it. And another doctor said, well, everyone has it. Like it's just no big deal. So we'll pick it up there. Welcome, Dr. Rodney. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Steve. I love being with you.
Okay, so let me ask you straight up, can fatty liver be reversed? So is it possible when the fat builds up in the liver, which is not good and can lead to all kinds of bad things, but can we get the fat out of our liver? Can we reverse fatty liver? Maybe just with diet, or maybe you have some supplement suggestions or something. So question to you is, can fatty liver be reversed?
Yeah, thank you. I love the question. As I said in our last interview, I had fatty liver disease. Okay, notice I used the past tense there. Okay, so you get the clue. I'm telling you already, can fatty liver disease be reversed? Absolutely, because I had it. Past tense. I was diagnosed with it and I had it, but I do not have it anymore. And I took care of it. I don't know exactly how long it took for the fatty liver to go away. Okay, I know that it was just about 1 year from when I was diagnosed to when I had a liver ultrasound to confirm whether the fatty liver disease had progressed, remained the same, or regressed, that is, gone away. You know, whether it had stayed the same, gotten better, or gotten worse. And so there's about a year in between there. And I can tell you, when I had a repeat, it wasn't really a repeat ultrasound, it was a repeat imaging study. Okay, it was gone. The technician who did that study, she said, I can't tell you the results, but
Now we say that.
keep up what you're doing. Okay, that's what she said. Now, of course, I saw the results later. Right, there is no evidence of fatty liver disease in my liver 1 year later. Okay, it was gone from diffuse hepatic steatosis on an abdominal CT scan to no evidence of fatty liver disease, none. A completely normal liver ultrasound in 1 year later. And what did I do in between? And so I did take some specific steps, okay, in between. And what was happening before, I was nearly a vegan before that. I ate lots of, vegetables, whole grains. But I mean, how many of you know sugar's vegan? We don't have, cow-derived sugar. It comes from, beets and corn and sugar cane. Okay, but we'd get our sugar from plants. All right. So anyway, you can be a vegan. You could eat lots of sugar as a vegan, if you wanted to, right? But I ate quite a bit of grains. Rice, tortillas, beans have a surprisingly high amount of carbohydrates in them, and of course wheat. Wheat is in everything. Oh my gosh. And other grains too, right? It's not just wheat, but it's in bread, cereal, it's everywhere. Like I eat granola. I thought I'm being healthy. I'm just, see, I'm mentioning veganism. I'm not a vegan now, I want you to know. And I guess I could say it. I don't really think it's the healthiest approach, but in any case, that's not the debate here. But I wasn't healthy with it, and I'm not a vegan now. But I was eating a high amount of carbs and some sugar too, like not not a little sugar. This is the time. This is maybe telling you too much about my personal life, but there was a time when when my wife and I were seeing a counselor for our marriage, and and I was saying, well, we're eating ice cream every night, you know, we're having a bowl of ice cream, and she said, well, that's fine as long as you're not like, you know, burying your feelings, you know, eating your feelings with this ice cream. And I'm like, oh, we're totally burying our feelings with the ice cream. That's totally what we're doing with it. And you know, I'm just saying that because there's a lot of reasons where we can wind up with excessive, you know, sugar consumption, excessive carbohydrates, and some of it can be emotional eating. You know, by the way, we solved our problems, and you know, and we're doing great. Just to give you that piece of the story too. But so just so you know, heading into this, I was eating a lot of carbs, and so when I researched and I found out, oh my goodness, carbohydrates are causing this. And although my doctor had told me, there's nothing you can do except don't drink alcohol, which I already didn't do. And so I began to take a close look at what foods had carbohydrates in them and what didn't. And so I eliminated all grains. I didn't eat any rice, barley, wheat, corn. The definition of a grain is the seed of a grass. That's what grains are, the seeds of grasses. Some things that we associate with grains that aren't, like buckwheat is not a grain, neither is millet. It's quinoa is not a grain. It's a fascinating thing, actually, that there's a few that aren't. But anyway, I eliminated all grains and began, and sugar, okay? And I didn't eliminate carbohydrate. We don't need to, but I lowered it dramatically. I mean, huge, until I was eating 45 grams of carbohydrate a day.
That's
No
low.
more.
So, so
It's
you
low.
eliminated grains and sugar. Was that the first step to reversing this?
Yes,
Okay.
that, that was my.
Grains gone, which you described, and sugar gone. And
Yeah,
carbohydrates, was that net carbs or total carbs, 45?
net carbs. Yep, which
Okay,
is total carbohydrates minus fiber. And
right.
those are separately on nutrition labels if you're eating something that has nutrition labels on it.
Right. So for those of you who don't know the difference between total carbs and net carbs, your total carbs is all your carbohydrates, including fiber. Your net carbs are your total carbohydrates minus the fiber that is in those carbohydrates. That number will be your net carbs, and under 50 is a pretty low number.
Yeah,
So, okay, go ahead,
yep.
Doc.
Well, you got to pay close attention to do that. At the same time, I increased healthy fats. Okay,
Wow.
and many people don't know what healthy fats are, even really. They're like I was talking to a friend once about fats and said, well, you know, we've kind of been brainwashed by, you know, the government food guidelines and recommendations. And this friend said, well, I don't even listen to those. I don't pay any attention to them. I don't, you know, I don't follow that. And and so he was saying he knew what healthy fats were and what healthy fats weren't. And I said, really? Is canola oil good for you or bad for you? Okay,
That's horrible. It's
it
poison.
is. It is. But he was stumped immediately. Okay.
But
Um,
I think I saw a commercial that said it's really good for you, so I'm confused.
that said it's, yeah, that said it's a vegetable oil. It's not saturated fat, and so it's good for you. That's right. And they've said that about corn oil also. Is corn oil good for you? See, these things have been pushed on us, and we don't even know it, that they're influencing our concepts of what is healthy and what's not. So it turns out vegetable oils are not good for us. Corn oil, no, 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 bad for us.
Poison,
Canola oil is made from,
poison.
it's made from a grain, from rapeseed. It's that name stands for Canadian Oil Company. That's where it comes from, canola oil. They grow a lot of rapeseed, which is a grain in Canada. Anyway, there's trans fats are another toxic fat. We want to avoid that, of course. and soybean oil. Ugh. Anyway, I eliminated soy. See, as a vegan, again, soy is a vegetable. Vegans, I could eat a lot of soybean oil. I wasn't afraid of soy oil. Turns out it's bad for me. There's other things that contribute. I told you already, carbohydrates are the primary cause of fatty liver disease, and other things then contribute to it. Okay, I need to load my body with healthy fats. They are good for me. Uh, Extra virgin olive oil is a good example of a healthy fat. Coconut oil, good for us. MCT oil, I take that every day. It is good for us. Good for the liver, good for the
Yes.
brain. These things are good for us. I eat,
Saturated fat. That's a saturated fat, and it's one of the best things you can put in your body.
yep, I take butter and ghee, grass-fed butter and ghee. I these are the things that I did. They helped make me healthy again, healthy and strong. And as I've told you previously, I feel better than I have in years. Okay, I'm 63 now, and I feel really good, better than I have probably in a decade and a half, maybe 2 decades. I feel good and getting better. I'm on a roll, and it's because of changes. I believe because of changes I'm making in my lifestyle. A lot of
Okay,
which
so
diet.
okay, everyone. So here we have a doctor, and he reversed fatty liver, and you did that by eliminating all grains first, reducing your carbohydrates, and getting rid of the corn oils, the vegetable oils, the bad oils that are fructose that clog up your liver. So all you did was you eliminated a few things and you increased some healthy fat like MCT oil. I think that's a medium chain uh,
Triglycerides.
saturated fat. Um, Olive oil, monounsaturated fat. I think that's what that is. So you increased healthy fats
Mhm.
to reduce the fat out of your liver. You reduce the grains, and it worked.
Yeah, well, this isn't all I did. I also I mean, I ate a lot of vegetables, probably more than when I was vegan. Okay,
Hmm.
because a lot of my diet when I was vegan was grains and and beans, and so I would have half my plate vegetables. I still do. When I eat a meal, I want half my plate to be vegetables. It's these are anyway. So I want you to know, like, this isn't. It's not all about what you eliminate. It's what am I taking in? Okay, I'm taking in fat. I'm taking in vegetables and lots of them. Uh, Broccoli, cauliflower, onions, Brussels sprouts, mushrooms, garlic. These are those are many of those are cruciferous vegetables. They're especially good for our intestines, and we're going to get to that next. I also cultivated my bowel flora. Okay, the intestines, this world on the inside of us. Okay, there's a whole world of healthy bacteria that live on our insides in the intestines, and it's hugely important for our health, uh, to to feel good generally, to be healthy, live long, and to help clear up fatty liver disease. Does it matter? Yep. So to cultivate the bowel flora, I ate the cruciferous vegetables, onions, garlic, mushrooms. These things are really good for the intestines. They have a name today. When I was in medical school, this word didn't even exist. A prebiotic. We've heard of probiotics. Those are the bacteria themselves, right? Healthy bacteria. Those are good to take, by the way, and I did take them. But prebiotics are what they feed off of. It's our body doesn't feed off of the kind of fiber that's in those vegetables, the cruciferous vegetables, onions and garlic. Our body doesn't feed off of that fiber. It can't digest it. but the bacteria can, healthy bacteria are nourished by this soluble fiber that's being sent to them in these foods. So that makes like fertilizer and nourishment for a healthy microbiome. They call it this internal garden. So I did probiotics and prebiotics. We want multiple different kinds of bacteria in our probiotics. We can also drink cultured drinks like kefir, yogurt. It's especially good if we can make our own cultures and like make your own yogurt. You can make your own so much more powerful. What we buy commercially is cultured for like 4 hours, and then they cap it and send it to the store. And that's a little more than one doubling time for bacteria, which is 3 hours. And if you culture your own, you can culture it for 24, 36 hours. Okay, you can have a lot of doublings, and it can be way richer in the healthy bacteria when we take it. So
Wow, that is great information. Uh, it's true. You can reverse fatty liver, clean or clear your liver of all that fat and make it younger again. It sounds like you attacked with your process your whole gut and made your body more efficient. So it's not clogged up. Now it's working more efficient. So is there anything else that you want to add to that? But before we go, doctor?
there's more things that I did, and we should talk about those next time.
Okay. All right. Well, we will go ahead and do part 3 with clearing up your liver. So thanks for being with us, doctor, and we will talk to you next time.
Thank you.